Hi everybody, welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin and today is Flameworking just for fun. I've been making smaller beads lately because it's cold in the dungeon and a 15-minute bead is perfect, and then I can go upstairs and warm up a little bit and then come back down and make a few more. So today I have a fun corrugated center bead to share with you all. And all you need to make the corrugation lines is a little razor blade tool like this. If you have a thin butter knife, that can also help as well. This is a perfect bead if you are just looking to practice your dot placement or if you're just trying to find new fun color combinations. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I hope you enjoy this quick little bead and are inspired. And with that said, I hope you're all doing safe and well out there. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time in the dungeon. All right, we're going to start this out with a base of black, and you can see my color palette over there. I'm just using a rainbow assortment of opaque colors, but with any of the demos that I do, you can use whatever colors that you like, transparent or opaque. Both look great for this corrugated bead. And I'm going to just add a little bit of black to begin with on my mandrel, and then I'll add a few more wraps just to give it the size that I need to add 6 dots all the way around. And it may vary depending on how thick or thin your color rod is. So you may have to add a few more wraps. You just want to be comfortable with your starting size. And I'm going to melt this down until I have a nice, smooth, wide bead. There we go. That looks good. Okay, now we're going to add our dots, and I'm using a pre-made stringer. You can make your own stringers, but I like the thickness of this stringer. It's like a 2mm stringer, and it just works great. It's very consistent all the way through, and it just gives me the perfect dot size for this bead. So I'm going to add my dots as close together as I can. If you can get 6 dots, that's great. But, say you want 7, you can actually add as many dots as you want, and these dots can be whatever size you want. You just want them to be fairly consistent all the way around. Now I'm going to add a few more dots here. I just want these white dots to be a little bit bigger so that when they melt down, they kind of really get really close to each other and cover up that black underneath. So I'm just going to melt these down about halfway. I don't want to melt them down all the way just yet. All right, and there's the beginning of our bead here. So let's go ahead and add our color. I'm going to start out with this kind of my new favorite yellow. It's a butternut yellow, and I really like it. So I'm going to put some of that on, and I'm going to add a dot that's about the same size as the dot underneath. And then I'll go ahead and heat that dot up a little bit and make sure it's seated well on the white dot before you add the next dot. So each time you add one of these dots, spend a second just to make sure it's on center of the dot underneath it. Okay, that was an orange. Now this is a medium red, and again, one of my favorite reds. Other than the carrot red, I do like this medium red. And then this one is the evil purple. It came out a little bit lighter than I was hoping. I had been looking for a really nice opaque purple for a long time. So if you have any ideas, let me know. All right, moving along, I have a turquoise blue. And then I will have one more color here, the pea green. Make sure that you keep your bead nice and happy while you're getting, and preparing that color. All right, there's our little color wheel there. And now we'll go ahead and start to melt it all down. And this can take several minutes. Every time you do a melt, it takes time. So just do your best to get all of the dots to start melting down nice and evenly, all at the same rate, all at the same time. Some of these colors were a little stiffer than other colors, so it's not a perfect meltdown, as you can see, but this works for me because we're going to go ahead and use our razor blade tool now and start adding the corrugation. And I'm going to work this corrugation, and what am I trying to say here? I'm adding it. Watch how I do this. I'm going to add going upward. Okay, so I'm pulling my mandrel towards me and I'm adding the corrugation going up. If I do it the opposite way, the color tends to, gravity is always against us. So I want to make sure that the color's not falling down. That's why I'm adding my corrugation lines going upward. Either way, I'm gonna just keep heating and pressing my little lines in here all the way around. Try not to press too hard. Sometimes if you press too hard with the razor blade tool, it can push the bead off of the, it can crack the bead release and your bead will kind of start moving around. So be gentle but forceful when you add your lines. Okay, well, and that's it. Here we have it. All we have to do now is add our clear and melt it in. So I'm just going to make sure that the bead is nice and cool before I add my clear on top. That will allow the clear to melt into those little indentations and give you a better look overall. It'll just make it stand out more. So I'm adding about 2 wraps of clear on here. And as I melt this down later on, the air that is above those indentations will push out of the sides. So you won't have any, don't worry about trapping any air bubbles. All right, and there's our disc there. Now I'm just going to spend a second just heating everything up. And if you feel like you need to, you can use your mini mashers and just straighten your disc up a little bit like I'm about to do here. All right, and once that's done, I'm going to give it a little bit of a melt. I want the bead to be a little bit bigger, so I will add 1 more wrap of clear on top. But I want to make sure this bead is looking nice and even before I do that. I'm not going to heat the sides. I'm only heating at the equator. It may, kind of look uneven right now, but once we do our final melt, everything will even out. Okay, so I'm just going to wiggle some of this clear on here, another layer. It doesn't have to be this big. You can make this bead as big or as small as you want. I just wanted to add a little bit extra clear there, just for personal preference. And now is our final heat. The final heat here can take probably between 3 and 4 minutes. So take your time and get that glass to start melting down right at the equator. And we are just about done here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's quick, but a lot of these looks amazing, especially in a necklace or a bracelet. So I do hope you all enjoy. I'm just going to straighten my sides up here with the butter knife, and we will be done. So let me know what you all think, and I hope to see you soon in the dungeon.